Hello, everybody. I am going live today because I had this little inkling. Oops, this is like gonna drive me bananas. I had this little inkling about bringing back tea with Z today. And I wanted to go live and answer any spiritual questions that you may have. But I also just wanted to talk about some of the energy lately for folks. Hi, Chosen Big Dog, how are you? For folks who have been quantum jumping, who have been quantum healing, who have been manifesting. Again, Tea with Z is back. So I'm going to be trying to go live during the day as much as I can to answer your questions. So if you have anything happening in your life right now that you want some live advice on, feel free to drop it in the chat. Right now, collectively, we're going through a bit of chaos energy, but in the best way possible. In the best way possible. A lot of manifestations are coming to fruition right now. So if you've been working on your scripting, if you've been working on your visualizations, if you've been working on doing your deep healing, you're going to be seeing the fruits of your labor right now. And it may not be your entire manifestation, but it could be a large representation of it. For instance, if you are manifesting love, you might be getting people who are interested in you, asking you out on dates. Maybe you're getting signs from the universe to go sign up for like a dating event, or maybe a nudge to go to a certain grocery store. It's all for a reason. So pay attention to those invites from your friends, from your community, and just to also focus on love. For those of you who haven't caught up, make sure you read The Mango Men and Other Manifestations. The last chapter is dropping this Friday, and it's going to be fully free until the beginning of April. So you might as well go catch up and learn all about manifestation and love and sitting comfortably within your confidence. Another example would be like, let's say that you are manifesting wealth. You may want to like start a new business or clean up your business or prepare it for the wealth that is coming in. So how I usually like to tell people is, if God is about to bless you with all of this money or with all of these clients, we were talking about this last night, where would they land? What container would they be sitting in? How would you be able to welcome them? Are you prepared for that amount of responsibility? So ensuring that you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And again, for anybody who's just tuning in, feel free to drop your spiritual questions below and I'm happy to answer them. If you are manifesting, for example, travel, you may be getting visions, dreams, downloads about where you're going to go next. And then maybe within your astral space and within the dream work you are doing, you might be getting faced with deeper wounds that need to be healed and need to be looked at, right? So you're going to have your manifestations coming in alongside all of the healing that needs to happen. That is your quantum healing journey that the universe is trying to present you with. So make sure that you are taking note of that and doing everything you can to truly help yourself. This energy right now is so, so, so powerful. And I know that for some of you, you might feel like you're wanting to get some extra rest right now. You feel like manifestations have been taking a little bit longer, or maybe things are getting delayed and you're like, why can't I just get through this energy? Allow the shift to happen, but it doesn't mean that you become complacent. Make sure that you are still doing your body movement. Make sure that you're hanging out with your friends. Make sure that you are going live. Like me, if you have a business, make sure that you are showing up in your best capacity, because you're still telling the universe that I am ready to receive. What I see happen to a lot of people with their manifestations and why they usually slip away from their fingertips or things start to get delayed is because they're not actually sitting in gratitude. They're not actually, thanks for liking the live. They're not actually, folks on YouTube, be sure to like the live. They're not actually sitting in gratitude and within their self-belief of is truly possible for them and what can happen in their life. They're not trusting the universe. And sometimes it's quite hard to do that when you're in that frequency of, right before your manifestation comes in or right before a breakthrough happens. It literally becomes so fucking quiet and silent. And you think that you need to be in hermit mode or you think that you need to be in deep reflection, but you really don't. Like the universe is like, we're going to get really silent right now and see what you choose. Are you still going to choose to shine? Are you still going to choose to move forward? Are you still going to choose to be your bold self, even if none of your friends and family are supporting you? Like literally in the silence is when you become your most powerful. So remember that right now with a lot of these transits that are happening. And we have new moon energy coming in. So now is the perfect time for you to be planting new seeds, right? Maybe like 6 months ago, 4 months ago, being in hermit mode, being in, what is it? Is it the Four of Swords? I can't remember. I've seen that card. Maybe being in that energy would have been really helpful, but we are now shifting into spring. The first day of spring is literally in 2 days. And so what happens during spring? What happens during spring? You blossom, you shine, you grow, plants begin to pop up because seeds were already planted. So now is the time for you to buckle down and show up for your manifestations in the best way possible so that everything can flourish. You can continue to quantum jump. You can continue to quantum heal and allow the universe to support you with the belief that everything that's meant for me will always find me. My money is always where it's meant to be. Everything happens in divine timing, and you just ride this massive manifestation wave until summertime where things are really going to pick up. And then we have a little bit of a sleepy time and then we go back into fast manifestation. Like that's usually the flow throughout the year. And then you hit that giant portal during Lionsgate in August. And that's when you like supercharge yourself the rest of the year. And just for anybody who's tuning in right now, if you have any spiritual questions, you're welcome to drop them in the chat. I'm literally doing live Q&A. So I can answer whatever questions you may have, or maybe if you're experiencing something in your life right now, you're like, I don't know what the hell this means. Feel free to let me know. I am a spiritual teacher and a generational healer, and I love doing this work. And I want to be available to you all to make sure that you can manifest the life that you are desiring. Rose, how you been? Where you at these days? How's London treating you? What time is it in London? What time is it in London? It's so wild to see and hear from all of you. I'm just super excited. Now is a beautiful time to be reconnecting as well with your community. Like if you haven't touched base with folks, if you haven't like gone to events or museums or dance classes, like be a part of the community so you don't feel the chaotic low frequency of the manifestations astrologically right now. That's going to be super important for you. So I would love for everybody on TikTok and on YouTube just to let me know, like, where is your manifestation energy at right now? Like, are you like yesterday was big on like processing mode? Where's your energy at today? I want you to write it in the chat. Like, what are you feeling? Where's your vibe at? Are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling quiet? Are you feeling like sleepy? Are you feeling upset? Are you feeling like you're confused by what your ancestors are telling you? Are you like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this? Like, what are you experiencing today? Because this energy is just, it's bananas. It's bananas, but it's also super advantageous for you to also be doing your candle workings and baths and things like that. Thanks for liking the live, everybody. Don't forget to like it. 9:30 p.m. in London. So it's not even that late. It's not that late. I'm glad you are awake to join us. But yeah, folks, let me know like how you're feeling. I've been silently following. I'm feeling excited, silently following, as I feel big changes are on the way. Yeah, absolutely. Has anybody been getting like some of their manifestations trickling in right now? If you've been quantum jumping, you should be getting like some of your manifestations trickling into your life, even in the smallest ways, whether it's a vision, a synchronicity, a guide to meet somewhere or meet someone, or maybe things get a little bit easier, or maybe like my favorite part of manifestation is when stuff ends up getting blocked, like not literally blocked, but like things, you start hitting roadblocks, because that means the universe is literally like protecting you and keeping you on the straight and narrow. But sometimes when those roadblocks happen, people are like, what did I do wrong? It's like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. You're just traumatized. The universe is trying to help you. What's meant for you will always find you. And they're trying to limit your distractions. So yeah, feel free to let me know like what's been happening for you and what kind of seeds you are sowing for this new moon energy and this month of spring. Is that ecstatic and sleepy? Why are some readers trying to rush you to go now? To go now. What do you mean? Why are some readers trying to rush you to go now? What do you mean? Like me, or just like readers are saying go somewhere? What do you mean, Heather? What you mean? Big and sleepy. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to feel a bit of sleepiness right now with like the density of energy. It's like a giant rebirth. It's literally cosmic popcorn. Like we're making cosmic pop now. Yeah, I really want to know what that means. Why are some readers trying to rush you to go now? I want to know what that means. Is anybody celebrating the moon this week? Do you have any practices that you are doing? It's a good time to obviously be clearing out everything. I know growing up, this was something familiar, right? The spring cleaning. That's literally going to be your best friend during this time of year with these manifestations. Make sure you are doing your spring cleaning. Make sure you're getting rid of old files. Make sure you're getting rid of relationships that no longer serve you. Don't overextend your time, your energy. Like, just do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I know for myself, I've been clearing out a lot as well, lightening the load. If you're quantum jumping, you're likely experiencing where things begin to break or fall apart. That's also one of my favorites because it's like, I'm just going to let it happen. I'm like, oh, cool. A piece of my wall fell off. Nice. Yeah, it's a great, amazing time. The cleanup. Yeah, what are you cleaning up right now, Claire? What are you cleaning up? I started following you a couple of weeks ago when I came across one of your videos. Hi, welcome. I love your spirit and insight. I still have a lot to learn and catch up on. Oh my gosh, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Yay. Yeah, if anybody ever needs help, like, and wants like one-on-one time, you're welcome to look at my link tree. There's plenty of videos on my page, and I have stuff on TikTok. And then I have the Divine Academy or More Than Worthy, which is More Than Worthy is one-on-one, and then the Divine Academy is like a group setting, but I teach 3 times a week. Not you. Some readers were saying if you don't go right now, you'll lose it. Oh, I feel like sometimes that can be true. Not necessarily like you're going to lose it, but the manifestation, like you miss the window to grab onto it. And so sometimes it can take a full like karmic year for the manifestation to come back. Which I've definitely seen happen to me, but what's meant for you will always find you. But it can just take a little bit longer, because if the universe is like has been presenting things to you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, sometimes that energy gets moved to somebody else for the time being, or you have to go through the lessons of like what it was that took you so long to make the decision or to move away from the decision. But it's springtime and manifestation energy is just super strong. That might be why they're saying it. I'm not really sure. I would have to like watch their video and figure out why, but the energy has been very advantageous for people to manifest very rapidly. And so if there is anything that you are wanting, I highly recommend that you do it now. Like I highly recommend you put your name out there, start that business, go live, like buckle down, like literally like buckle up, buttercup, and just like ride this wave and really push yourself right now. Um, Again, as I mentioned earlier, like a lot of people are not wanting to show themselves or be in the spotlight, but that's because they're sitting a little bit too deeply in the low frequency energy. Especially for folks on here who are light workers, like YouTubers, content creators, like it's more like they might be saying like don't sleep on an opportunity. Like everything right now is an opportunity. There's so much luck in the collective. It's like as time slips away, like you're missing out on all of these big windows, because we want to, as light workers, not just be of service, but to be able to use the astrological portals to help us jump even faster, to elevate our energy even faster. And so that might be the urgency that they are telling you about. But it doesn't mean what's meant for you will like just disappear. But I don't know what they are talking about. Or maybe there's someone who's like orbiting around you that's just waiting for you to show up. You know what I mean? Like money can't come to you, clients can't come to you, opportunities can't come to you, like interviews and things can't come to you if people don't know that you exist. Is that making sense? Hi, how's it going? I'm cleaning up my intentions and perspectives that there is not enough than my schedule, my car, and my files. Beautiful. Yeah, that scarcity of like, there's not enough, like we all colonialism, right? Like teaches us that there's not enough and that we have to be greedy, as we saw in the States with like the toilet paper thing and the bleach thing and the like with COVID, it was like, hey, do you know that if we all just share, there's more than enough? Like there's more than enough, but we're conditioned to believe that there is never enough because we don't want to help each other. And that is the only thing that people see. And like sometimes, even when I go into people's houses, it's like they hoard all this energy and then they're wondering why they're so sluggish. And it's like, well, you have a scarcity mindset because you literally don't believe in infinite energy, but energy doesn't go anywhere. Like we already have that tangible evidence. So even if our scarcity is like, oh, like money is not going to come to me, and it's like, well, we already know that money is a frequency and money is energy, so that also can't be true. That also can't be true. Like I'm a very logical thinker, but I'm also a very spiritual thinker, and I don't know what you're referring to when you say like is not enough, if it was something specific, but sometimes I have to tell myself that, like when we start going through changes and when we start like shifting and doing big things, like I mean, I know you're an entrepreneur, especially when it comes to entrepreneurial endeavors, there's always going to be that moment of like, is anybody going to be there? Right? It's like, no, we're going to be fucking fine. Like we just have to do the thing that lets people know that I'm open. Right? Like you literally have to be open. um and it's very similar to how some folks like to take one group of people, whether it's masculines or feminines or whatever they feel like attacking that day, and saying like this group of people is just like super toxic, because they don't want to actually change, but they're just they're in such a high scarcity mindset that they fully don't believe that there is something for them, but that's because they don't believe that they are worthy of that thing. Like it's never the scarcity itself, right? It's always us being like, I don't believe my manifestation is possible because I actually don't believe that I deserve it. I don't believe it's going to work out for me, is what people are usually saying when it comes to scarcity. And it applies to anything. Like if you're like, oh, I'm having scarcity mindset about my money, it's because you don't actually believe that you deserve money, even though people say, yeah, I believe I deserve it. Well, then where is it? You know what I mean? Like energetically, that don't make no sense, right? It's like you don't believe that you can hold it, you don't believe that you deserve it, and you don't believe it's going to work out for you, and you believe it's going to run away from you. and that there is something about you that's going to make it run away from you. And the same thing goes for love, right? Like if you believe that your happily ever after is not going to happen, it's because you subconsciously believe it's going to suck, it's going to be hard, like you're going to have to like give up things, and there isn't a reality that is happy, and maybe you never saw a happily ever after, right? Or maybe it's with your career. I don't believe my business is ever going to take off as an artist. It's like, well, we know that not to be true, because how many fucking successful artists are there out in the world? Right? It's like logically that don't make sense. So we're just going to turn this right back on you and keep asking these questions, because scarcity mindset is one of those things that just is like wild. Your name seems familiar. What do you mean? Which name? Z or the fairy medicine woman? Bougie Savage, ZB Savage, Alicia Ngozi. I go by a lot of names. When I was younger, I called myself Spot, and also Amisha, because I wanted to be my cousin. That's totally it. The scarcity leads to being hoardy, which leads to being stuck and then missing opportunities because I don't have space for it. Yeah, exactly. It's like you manifest the thing that you are fearful of, like immediately. Like you're like, oh no, like I can't do this right now. Like I have to like build security. And then someone comes along and is like, here's a bigger container for your money, opportunity for success, and you're like, but this is my foundation. And they're like, but here's a mansion. You're like, I'd rather take my studio. And they're like, but I thought you wanted to host parties and events to like help your business grow. And you're like, I'll take the studio. And they're like, I'm not really understanding what's happening here. Right? It's kind of like you go through this energetic tug, and then you realize like, like my energetic container is so fucking small that like I can't even see that my mindset around my ability to receive opportunities that could help me is not aligned. Like it's scarcity always puts you into the hoarding energy because it runs on fear, like all of the time, all the time. That's why I always tell people, if you are in scarcity mindset, always be doing something with the community and always be doing something that is fulfilling to you, like giving back to the community. So you get used to that energy of reciprocity, especially when it comes to money. Like be a giving person. Like you need something in your life that forces you, because especially if you live in the States where greed is just bananas, that like forces you to give without expectation. Like just let yourself give, like be helpful to someone so that you're not constantly focusing on yourself and just being selfish by accident. You know what I mean? The fairy medicine woman. Maybe have you seen me on YouTube? Maybe what's your name? Actually, what's your name? It me. That's amazing. Yeah, it's like opportunities are everywhere. Even if like some people think that opportunities will only come in the form of other people or emails or like a vision, but opportunities are everywhere. Like if you have an hour on your calendar and you're like, wow, I finished my work, that is an opportunity for you to do something amazing. Right? Do something amazing. And for me, it's like, what amazing thing do I want to do right now? There's an opportunity, but we have to train ourselves to be able to see it. We have to train ourselves to see that there are other ways of living and that we are too far into our fear. And that is why we feel so bananas and stuck, right? Like, no, like the universe is literally infinite. Like, sometimes you just be like, everything is infinite, and go outside and run around in circles. That's what I do. I run marathons because I'm like, I refuse to believe that as my reality. Is it Mukhtar? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you came across my page before. I don't know if I recognize your name. Is this making sense for everybody? Is anybody else feeling scarcity lately? Swings. I don't know. Are you on my email list? Yes, there are other ways. And also, I think I need to train my energy container to be bigger through exercise. It depends on what container you are building. is like when it comes to changing your energetic capacity, like you always have to have something that alchemizes. It doesn't matter what the tool is, but it needs to match you, your frequency, and where you are at on your path, right? You always have to alchemize because there is no growing your energetic container unless you can move energy. Because even if you try and get a bigger container or try and hold a bigger container, if you can't remove or alchemize old energy to and call in new energy simultaneously, that container doesn't matter. The container doesn't matter, right? And then the other aspect of like changing your energetic container to be able to receive more is to physically get rid of things. Like you have to physically let go in the physical world, because newness needs to happen. And you need to make sure that like what you are seeing around you, what your environment reflecting back to you is somehow chemically allowing your brain to tell yourself that this is new. This is new, especially for people who are quantum jumpers and light healers and all sorts of stuff. Like I do it all the time. Like it's the whole reason why this looks different. Like I will never, I'm constantly changing my energy. That's why I'm always quantum jumping and manifesting quite quickly, because I am shifting my energy around. I am doing feng shui. I'm allowing my environment to change. I'm allowing myself to evolve. My wardrobe will probably stay like this for maybe another month and then it will be gone. And then a new wardrobe comes in, right? So it's like you have to physically also change your environment. And then the third part is you need to do your healing. So it's like the alchemizing the physical environment and doing your healing, because even if you have a container and you like change your environment, if your mindset is still stuck in scarcity, that container is just going to shrink back down because that's what you believe, right? And that's what you tell the universe. Hi, how's it going? Kali Rose. I was just thinking of Kali Ma, and there's a rose over here. I'm loving all these names. I'm loving all these names. Is that making sense for everybody? Like when you change your energetic capacity, are those three things making sense to you? LOL, just fill a bigger container with more compost. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like you have to be like out, literally out with the old, in with the new, in every single way. Every single way. That's why giving back to the community and like being heavily rooted in being of service makes your quantum jumping and your manifestation journey so much easier. Colonized ways of teaching manifestation just teaches you to listen to affirmations and like be abundant and do all these things, but they don't actually teach you how to be in community, which is what abundance is for. Like it's not just for one person. Like it's if I learn how to be abundant and prosperous, it's not for me to just sit on it. It's for me to like come here and share with all of you. I'm like, this is what I learned about my journey on prosperity, wealth, happiness, love, sensuality, building my business, my artistry. Because what is the point of going through your journey if you're just gonna keep it for yourself? Like that's super selfish. You know what I mean? So have that balance so that you can continue to be of service. I am back. I had to take my dog out. Aw, dogs. Thank you for explaining that. Absolutely happy to help. Dogs are amazing. I love dogs. I miss my dogs. I miss my two dogs. I wish they were here. I'm not going to try and manifest them because if they were here right now, they'd probably be running around in circles, jumping on things because they get excited when they see me. um, but yeah, make sure you have practices to let things go, to alchemize your energy, to do exercise. Like for me, my growth of energetic containers, because I am a marathon runner and because when I run, I have very specific visualizations that I do with every single step that I take and every breath that I make, time after time. Anybody? Anybody catch that? And the way I pull energy through my crown chakra, my body heavily responds to it. But also for folks who are seers, we need stronger ways to alchemize energy and breathe quite largely. And so doing longer exercises where you are in momentum, like, or you're like have a high momentum, you're going to alchemize a lot more quickly. And you're going to find on the days that you're not alchemizing, you're going to like hit this wall, and then all of a sudden everything's going to start being chaotic because you're constantly pushing this energy out, and then you're raising your frequency, and then you're likely eating better. Like it just compacts into growing your energetic capacity. And it also teaches, like, which is why in More Than Worthy, I always have people have some sort of exercise. Before, I used to work with a lot of weightlifters because I also do weightlifting. I haven't in a little bit, but I used to do it competitively. And so I worked with a lot of people who were constantly training because as they were building muscle and strengthening themselves, they also had the mental capacity, and they also built the resilience, and they would see their body changing, and their life changing. And so they would continue to do the generational healing. And then eventually being in change consistently became super comfortable for them. And so then they started magnetizing quite quickly because their energy was moving a lot faster. And strong body, strong mind, right? Strong spirit. I adore her, and she knows. I love that. I need the physical release discipline. I do the rest, but it's a big missing piece. Like staying consistent with exercise, you mean, Claire? Do you own any furs whatsoever? No. Why are you asking that? Why are you asking that? Do you have a spiritual question? Hiya. Hi. How's it going? I also worked in ethical supply chain, so I have mixed views about like sustainability and people who own furs and people who don't, and people who fucking buy plastic that isn't recycled and think it's healthy, or people who but actually it like strips the trees away. And something that's actually ethical is to buy is to, like, sometimes have leather goods. So we can go around all day if you want, but this is spiritual talk right now. um Yes, exercise. Yeah. Most of the time, the one thing that's going to be super good for you, right? We avoid. We avoid. It just means that you have not been able to do it consistently for your body to be able to respond to it enough. And so maybe there are different types of exercises that you could try, um, so that you could get used to exercise and build the momentum to consistently exercise. Because sometimes, depending on people's energy and the journey that they're on, like consistently doing running isn't always going to work. And there will be certain phases, like I will run, but like running here in Mexico is a little bit harder to run because we're constantly sweating and we constantly don't have enough salt in our body. So it's really, really hard. So I mix in like other interval training, and I mix in ballet, and I mix in Pilates. Like I mix in a lot of different things to keep my body toned, and I do yoga every day. And so I'm consistently moving, but it may not be the high intensity, but I do it more frequently so that I can still have that energetic like alchemy. Um, it's going to be so good. Hi, I'm 67 years old gran in UK. Hi. Very interesting to hear you for the first time. I have arthritis everywhere, so not fit at all. Yeah. What is your accessibility with movement? And for everybody, it's different, right? So just because one person has the accessibility to move and run and do all the things doesn't mean it's going to be the same for somebody else. But it doesn't mean you can't have the same outcome with a different type of movement or a different type of alchemy. Because some people, if they do not have accessibility to as much movement, you can actually condition yourself to alchemize quite strongly through your breath. So, doing things like fire breathing or consistent exhaling, depending on what you are doing to build strength, is also going to help you. Because anything that builds heat in your body, like you would do, like an ujjayi breath in yoga, is also going to be advantageous for alchemizing energy. I used to be a multiple workout a day athlete. I don't know what has happened. I mean, multiple times a day is like excessive. It doesn't really mean anything. Like sometimes I used to be that way, and it was also because I was heavily traumatized and I didn't know how to redirect my energy. I didn't know how to redirect my energy. I didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, I wasn't high frequency because it wasn't something that I knew. I just was moving my body. I was likely getting a lot of spiritual energy. I was maybe eating differently. I was compensating for the trauma that I was going through. And so that was the reason why I was like, but I've always had a high capacity. Most people who have a high capacity for workouts can do that. But then when your trauma meets it, it's like you're excessive about it. Like I was excessive about it. Like I could wake up, do like German body conditioning, lunchtime, do like a 12 mile like bike ride, and then afterwards run a bunch of miles, and then like in the middle of the night do yoga, and then still be like, woo! Right? But I was also trying to overcompensate for the trauma that I was experiencing at work, at home, with family, like in political systems, and then being married. It was like a bunch of things. And so it was like, in order for me to even maintain any sense of happiness, I had to be moving. And then it was like a 4 to 5 hour drop of energy. And then I was moving again. But it wasn't like it was like you conditioned your body to do the movement, which is not very difficult to do because the body is very powerful. But on a mental capacity, it's very unhealthy, right? I have chronic pain and moving sometimes is difficult. Do you do any breath work? I have been exercising 4 times a week. It's literally lifted my energy and mood. My TikTok live just turned off. Whatever. Um, it's really lifted my energy and my mood. Plus, I'm sleeping more. It's 10 p.m. now, so time for bed. Yay, Rose, you get some sleep. We'll listen to replay. Thank you for all you do. You've been a great part of my journey. Happy to help. Happy to help. Yeah, exercise helps a lot. And timing it with your Ayurvedic dosha is also helpful. And it's like, honestly, being super honest with yourself, right? Like I had to tell myself, like, what was it that I was doing during the day that I was convincing myself that I was not deserving of a healthy lifestyle. I wasn't deserving of having all of my energy for manifestation. I was lazy. Like that's what it was, because it was like, no matter what I did, there was some stupid excuse for me to be like, oh, I just like feel like my mind right now is, no, get up, like stop making excuses. Like there's always going to be a day where you don't feel so hot, and this is for people who have the accessibility and are like, and like I see this so much in spirituality where they're like, I'm just gonna like just go with the flow, and I'm just going to give myself all the grace, and I'm going to like, it's like, no, what you are doing is sabotaging yourself because you don't want to put in the work. Like I haven't been able to manifest the things that I've wanted in my life, or to be able to run my business like I do, an excessive amount of content. Like if you look at any of my pages, I create an excessive amount of content and I'm writing and I'm doing all these things, but I can't do that unless I maintain the mindset of like, get up and do it. Like, do I want to do it today? No. Am I going to do it? Yeah. If I don't do it that day, do I know the day is going to be kind of fucked up? Yep. Do I accept it? Have to. Like, there's no one else to blame. Like, it's like, I know that I didn't set myself up for success, and that's why I'm not going to go do it. I would rather not do it. You know what I mean? Like that's what, like, people have to be honest with themselves and be like, I would rather not do this, even though I know it's going to be so great for me. But you have to be the one to accept it and say like, okay, I'm going to be honest. I'd rather not do it. That's why I don't do it. Definite overcompensation. Yeah. I have lots of mental trauma, and I think that's made my stomach have problems. They thought I had IBS, and now it's IBD and a blocked kidney. Yeah, that actually used to happen to me all the time before I went on my generational healing journey, and I see it in people all the time before they come into More Than Worthy. So if you need help, please do apply for More Than Worthy. We do a whole life transformation, and I look at your food. But there was a period in my life where I couldn't keep anything down. It was causing so many issues in my body. It didn't matter like what cleanses I did, how I changed my diet. The trauma itself was manifesting through my physical body. And it was creating all of this chaos and unhealthy habits, and I couldn't get out of it. Like, it was literally the only way that I could live. And there were times when, like, I had to be on all this medication and I had to see the doctor, and, I was in a serious role. Like, I was, like, visible, speaking in front of people, and, like, had important money deals to do, and it would be like, "Would you excuse me? I have to go, like, excuse me." Right, and I would be running to the bathroom like, oh my gosh, I can't, like I have to throw up, or like I have like IBS, or like if I eat this thing, it's so irritating. And it's just, there's so much trauma and there's so much going on with the physical body that, like, needs to be released, but you have to be able to build safety and understand how to do it. Like, it's the whole reason why I designed More Than Worthy to be 6 months, because I need to see people in their, like, purest form, to see their cycles, see how they're eating. Because sometimes people are like, oh yeah, I do that. And I'm like, I'm watching them and I'm like, yeah, you do it for a week. You do it for a week, but you told yourself how shitty you were for about a month. Right? So it's like, sometimes we need the extra insight, like from someone like me who's trained in generational healing and knows how this works, so then you can actually feel the liberation, right, and the freedom. But your body is always talking to you. Most people just miss the signs, fully miss it. Like, and in my program, I teach people how to read their body and understand their trauma cycles, so that when something does happen down the road, you see it coming, and it acts as like preventative care, so that you don't go down the same path that you did before. And a lot of people leave with a lot of their ailments cleared. Like, so many people don't have dysmenorrhea. I've had people like leave and no longer have eating disorders. Like, people come off their ADHD medicine. Like, it's like there's so many possibilities that can happen, that like trauma causes so much harm to the body. Um, I do have a exercise too. What kind of breath exercise and how often do you do it? Some days I can play with my 2-year-old grandchild. Others days I self sabotage. How do you self sabotage? What's the best way you've had to deal with energy blocking from not bad people, but I'm still feeling triggered by them because they don't want to look within? I do the work, yes or yes, save my life. I mean, I would have to know a little bit more about energy blocking, like what you like, how that's showing up in your physical life. If you are triggered by them, you just have to do deeper healing. Um, because the deeper you sit within your self worth, the less you are triggered, because there is no point. Why would you be triggered? Right? Because that means that there is something in you that still needs to be looked at, that is causing some sort of insecurity or pain or hurt or reminder of your self worth. And so that is why you feel that way. And when we are too concerned with other people, it is highly in the realm of self validation and still self worth, right? Because we don't need to be concerning ourselves with how other people are not looking within. What does that have to do with us, right? Like, what we control is our life, how we interact, what we allow into our life. If we are allowing people into our life who are not looking within and are quite traumatic and toxic, that's our fault. That's fully our fault. If we don't have the boundaries, that's our fault, right? Like, until we can do the healing and successfully be able to protect our livelihood, our wellness, our happiness, we will always be triggered. But it just means that there's just deeper healing that needs to happen. There was physical contact that was unsolicited. I see. Yeah. Is It's someone that, like, what is the contact like? Like, is it someone that is around you? Like, is it a friend or a family? Um, is this someone who you invite into your life, or they just forcefully show up into your life? I'm just trying to get the details because I can't talk to you. Like if I was in a session with you, I'd be able to like more intimately help you, but I don't have all of the context. Thank you for your kind words. I try, and I know what's upsetting me, how others have treated me has been, made me a recluse single for 21 years. Yeah. And at some point, we have to accept that we allow other people's views of ourselves to change our lives. Men in my life were despicable. My father sexually abused my 4-year-old son, and all the family disowned me. Okay. Are you in a place where you are safe from these people? I grew up around a lot of abusive people as well. Just curious. And also just a reminder, if anybody needs help, like please either join the Divine Academy. It's $555 per month and it's a subscription. So you can cancel whenever you want to, or you can come join More Than Worthy and I can work with you for 6 months so that I can help you. It's a really long yeah. I figured it's hard to talk about those things over chat. Yeah, repeat offenders are never going to understand. So your biggest priority is going to be to protect yourself at all costs, if you are safe to do that. If you have to stay there, it's a very delicate situation. I have worked with many people in More Than Worthy who have been in situations where they do live with their abuser. But I'm hesitant to give you any sort of advice because I don't want to put you into danger and I don't know you. I haven't vetted your situation. But what I can say is to make sure that you protect yourself. And if there is another place that you can go that is safer, I highly recommend that if possible. I am very safe and happy alone. I will look into what you can offer as I really need some help. Yeah, I'll actually put the link. So I will put in, let's see. I will do my services link so everybody can see. This is going to have the application to join More Than Worthy. And then we can speak about like the process and what it's like over the 6 months. And then if that is not something that you can do like feasibly, then there is a Divine Academy, which is $555 per month. As I mentioned, you can join anytime. And I teach 3 times a week. So Mondays is Magic to Market for anybody who has a divinely led business, not like spiritual or anything like that, but you just feel called to start this business. And then Wednesdays is the School for the Gifted. And Fridays is the Art of Love and Magnetism, where we do a lot of generational healing. But if you're wanting specific deep healing, which it sounds like most of the things that people are saying today would probably lend itself to More Than Worthy. And if those two are not working and you're like, I want a single session, book the Fly With Me session. It is $555, so $555 for 2 hours, and it's deep healing, and all of it's virtually, so you don't have to show up in person. Fair. Well, I have to stay here, sadly. Okay, I'm working on my papers, and this is the only place. Visiting a friend tomorrow, but honestly, I can't say too much either, but I understand. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's a tough situation. I'm sending you lots of support. Don't know if your friend can help with anything as well to make sure you are safe. But it's really tough to be living with abusers because depending on the extent of the abuse or how they act, there's a lot of gaslighting, there's a lot of manipulation, and so we just have to be super mindful about that. But again, like for anybody, your priority is going to be leave the situation when you have the window or accessibility to be able to do that. Even if it feels uncomfortable to ask people for help. I have even spent time in shelters because safety was important. And just the situation needed to lend, it's like it had to go down that path. So if you feel called to do that, I highly recommend it, but it's not an easy path. It's not like, especially having a child and things like that. Like it's just not easy. So I commend you for even asking and saying something. Um, it's quite challenging. So please do take care of yourself. Thanks for that. I will definitely be looking at what is available. Great. Yay. Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely happy to help. I've been doing this for quite a long time, and the process of healing and working with the body and releasing trauma is such a delicate situation. And you know there are healers out there who just say like you can generational heal with light work, but it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Like, could you do energetic cleansing? Yeah, but I always ask them like, okay, well, if you're going to do generational healing, like, can you tell me how your energetic cleansing like helps people not be racist? And they can never answer the question because it doesn't. It doesn't get to the root of the problem, right? Or how it actually heals people's mindset or can help them feel more comfortable asking for help. Or for me, I had lost my child. And so it was like, what is this light work? Yes, I do light work and Reiki. Like, I love all of it, but there's a time and a place and there's an integration. Like, there's healing that needs to happen. Alongside the energetic work in order to break the cycles. And it's like, you doing your light work and twisting over my body is not going to heal the physical pain that I have. So how can you help me with that? Right. um or how I view myself, or viewing being a mother one day, right? So like, generational healing is a delicate journey, and it's a really beautiful one. And I love seeing everybody who goes through More Than Worthy, or even a shamanic journey with me, because you finally get to see yourself like in the physical as the person that you've always wanted to be, rather than trying to fill someone else's shoes. And like, I didn't even know there was like, it's like, for me, like, I didn't know there was a life where I could feel liberated and make money and no longer have busy thoughts or feel awful or like worry about my physical safety all the time, or not push away love because my body had been so abused that it it felt so unsafe, and it was like, no, I'd rather be on my own. But that was the most isolating and also kind of dangerous thing to do, quite honestly. um, and so I really get to see people go through this process, and it's really cool. And then as a consequence of that, people manifest everything that they're wanting, right? Because the only thing that's standing in between the life that you want, and where you are now, is just trauma and energy. And so we can't quite get to that stage unless we remove all the blocks and the hurdles. So it's a really great journey if anybody wants to join. Um, yes, my ancestors have said the same. Thank you. I am working on it. Beautiful. I'm protected, and when I can't afford, I know I will be taking a course from you. Absolutely. I am here whenever anybody is ready. I will keep all of you in my prayers, because I know this journey, the generational healing journey, it's arduous. I am going to also put in the chat. So I have a free workshop coming. It's called the Kick the Shit Happiness Challenge. And I'm opening it up right now. Let me look at the dates really quickly. So it's the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. It's free. And I'm going to do it online. I'm not promoting it a ton because I love keeping the space quite intimate. So I'm going to drop it in the chat. If anybody wants to sign up, you're welcome to. It's 3 days of us working on your mindset, and it'll be over Zoom, so you can ask questions. You can meet the other folks who are in the House of Bougie Savage, depending on who shows up. And it's a great way for you to begin your journey. So it's absolutely free. Everybody's welcome to join. I just put it in the chat. And if you, for some reason, lose the link, it's also in my link tree where you can go check it out. I usually teach it a few times a year. It's one of my signature 3-day things because I'm big about happiness. And on my page too, I have so many free resources. Like, insight timer meditations. I have podcasts, generational healing podcasts on the Fairy Medicine Woman. If you go to the podcast tab, you can do generational healing on there. Just begin in the meantime. So you can have some aha moments. A lot of the podcasts also have journal prompts, and I'm asking you to pause and reflect. So I do my best to help coach you through that. And if it's about love, you can listen to the Mango Men and other manifestations. Like, I've tried to create as much as I can. And I will be going live as much as I can to help as many people. But I am going to head out in about a minute. I'm going to actually prepare for Z School for the Gifted tonight in the Divine Academy, which again, it's a subscription. So anybody's welcome to join at any time, and you can cancel at any time. And I will be there to help guide you. And what I started actually this year for 2026 is all of the classes I'm recording and putting it into a learning portal. So if for some reason you're like, I can't make the actual class times, there's always going to be a recording, unless it's something that's like specific to it not being recorded and sensitive topics are being shared. But other than that, the concept itself will be recorded and put into the portal. So you will have access to it for as long as you run your subscription, and it will be there, and you can watch it at your leisure. And then you get access to the House of Bougie Savage as well, which is a tighter knit private group of artists and activists and healers like myself, who have been quantum jumping for the longest time. And it's fun to be around people who are doing the same work as you. And they're just a really loving family. And I have a channel in the Discord for folks to use as like a working center, since a lot of them are entrepreneurs and artists. They get together and practice their tarot, or we do artist night, and I give feedback because I've been in manufacturing and of many things. So I coach people a lot to make sure they can get their business off the ground. So it's a really fun, intimate space. If that's something you like, definitely sign up for the Kick the Shit challenge. You'll also get access to the House of Bougie Savage. So I'm definitely interested in that. Thanks. Absolutely. Happy to help. I'm going to sign off, everybody. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of hugs. I am going to be going live as much as I can this week, whenever my schedule allows. And I will talk to you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Woohoo.